Just a quick message to say I woke up yesterday, and as is often the case on alternate Tuesdays, I want to check on my wife, I want to check on my family, and then I need to post the social media for my podcast, regardless of who the guest is. Famous, not famous, doesn't really matter. I have an obligation to do social media for the show per my promotional duties to the producers. And I woke up and I had no idea it was Blackout Tuesday. I had no idea. I mean, if there was a memo there, I didn't get that memo. I woke up, it was Tuesday, it was the day that the show was being released, and I posted my social media and then was taken to task, shall we say, that I wasn't observing the Blackout Tuesday protocol. And as I said in the post I put up there, I completely understand the sentiment, and I think protest and solidarity and all those things are important. And the thing that I believe, I don't have any facts here, the thing that I believe is as important, if not more important, is to register to vote. You can bet, and this is another can of worms that I won't open up now, you can bet that there will be police presence in major cities where this rioting has really manifested itself on through the summer and into the fall and during the election. The rioting, the looting, and things like that, which I understand the frustration behind it. I really do. I mean, I am, as everybody reminds me on social media every day, you old white man, whatever they want to say. Lots of invective, lots of pejorative, lots of judgment, lots of ugliness on social media. I'm beginning to wonder sometimes if participating in certain social media is a form of psychosis, and myself included. Like, what's the point? But I want to say that registering to vote and voting in the fall is, all my life I've heard people say, this election, this is it. It's the most important election of our generation. It's the most important election in decades. It's the most important election since, and they put up these parameters. But this really is the most important election of my lifetime. I mean, Nixon running for re-election in 72, and he just killed McGovern. Nixon is Adlai Stevenson compared to Trump. Nixon had a lot of problems, a lot of serious problems. He deserved to be vacated from that office, but he was a bright, curious guy. His curiosity led him down a lot of wrong paths. But anyway, you have to register to vote. Register to vote. Get your mail-in ballot ready. Because if they do what they did in 2016 and marginalize enough voters, and then he succeeds in this kill the online balloting thing, the mail-in balloting thing, then, again, win this quadrant of the Republican Party, which is a unique experience in our lifetimes. It is not, I've known a lot of Republicans who are not like this. This is not indicative and representative of all the Republicans I've known in my lifetime. When this quadrant of the Republican Party, election time comes, they know they can't win a fair fight. They know they can't win an honest election. So nullification is their main program. If we can't get more people to vote for us, we have to make sure less people vote for the other side. So I was completely ignorant. I had no idea that yesterday was Blackout Tuesday, and my political what's the word I'm thinking of, career or what have you, my political participation has always included helping disadvantaged people of color vote. Drive for Five down in Florida in 2000. Andrew Gillum, working with him, with People for the American Way, to register voters to vote. Going down to Virginia to register voters to vote. And we flipped the State House. I made one trip. But I worked with my spare time, considering I have a young family, I went down to Virginia for the November race to flip the State House. And I have worked all of my adult life, particularly since the late 80s, with different organizations to help to bring out the vote. I mean, all these corny lines you've heard. When you don't vote, someone else decides for you, blah, blah, blah. I really believe that. And I want to just pivot real quickly to the whole Woody Allen thing. Hey, I get it. I get people who, it's a lot of opinions here. I get people who say, I think he's this, I think he's this, I think he's this. Very harsh, very corrosive, very angry, and personal opinions about him and what they believe happened in that situation. I happen to believe that he's innocent. And if you read his book, which I'm reading now, I didn't get to finish it prior to the interview. If you read his book and he takes you, centimeter by centimeter through the whole relationship, and I don't want to dwell on this right now, what you realize is there were 2 investigations, not 1 but 2, in New York and in Connecticut, and he was cleared by both. So it's not like people are sitting here who are supporters of Woody, who are pulling these beliefs out of thin air. There are people who believe Woody based on 2 forensic reports and evaluations that were done at the time. No one wishes anything ill to Mia or Dylan Farrow or Ronan Farrow. My God, what could be more of a poor investment of one's time and energy, And all of this is really a distraction from more important things, quite frankly, which is like this register to vote thing. But I just wanted to say, anybody who's offended by the fact that I put Woody on the show, please understand, I don't believe I'm putting someone on the show who was a convicted sex offender, because he's not. If you look at the facts, he is somebody who was exonerated by 2 states, because they were co-domiciled, I suppose, in New York and Connecticut. I don't know the details of that, but I would assume 2 states, Connecticut and New York. So to people who are offended by the fact that I put Woody on the show, I'm very sorry that offended you. But I put him on the show because I think he's innocent, A, and B, because I think he's one of the greatest filmmakers of the last 60 years. That's why I put him on the show. And WNYC forced me. They said, you must ask him these questions, because obviously NYC has had their problems in the Me Too Time's Up. A lot of difficulties for NYC and their Me Too Time's Up cred that they need to address. So they said, here's your list of questions you have to ask him. We asked him some of the questions that we thought were questions that he hadn't answered 500 times already. We asked him some of the questions. He very politely answered them, as he has in the past, as he has ad nauseum over the last several years. So, again, just to wrap this up, I'm very, very sorry that people were offended by that. And they say, I'll unfollow you. Okay. I put somebody on who I thought in my mind that all that had been resolved. In my mind. I know it's not resolved in a lot of other people's minds. Get your mail-in ballot. Register to vote. All the looting and all the violence and all the property damage. And I've heard people argue, hey man, it's the only way we can get people's attention. I do believe that plays into Trump's hands. The country is still 72% white, 60% non-Hispanic white, and all those people in certain parts of the country are watching this on the news and going, we need law and order, I would like to see us address the problems that led to this. That's what has to happen. But we got to vote. Looting a CVS is not going to get us where we want to go as a society. It's not. It's not. Organizing and getting this guy out of our lives forever, and getting Mitch McConnell out of the Senate, and getting Lindsey Graham out of the Senate, and getting all these maniacs out of American political life. We need to loot the Senate. By that I mean not the building and the property. We need to loot the membership of the Senate. yank them out of there.